So when it comes to team building, you want to have two characters who has very good damage, and a character who can tank very well or can take a rising rush. So the team that I'm going to use for this is pretty simple. I'm going to use Lineage of Evil. Now, a lot of people don't have the characters I'm going to use. So if you don't, then they're still here. You can still summon for them, or at least as I'm recording this video. Maybe by the time I post it, they'll be gone, but I highly doubt that. So you want to have characters here who can do very good damage. So I'm going to put Ultra Frieza here. And then the other character I'm going to put that does very good damage is I'm going to put this Frieza here, because both of them are range-based characters that can do very, very good blast damage. Now, on top of that, Ultra Frieza does have endurance, so he can also take a rising rush, and he's decently tanky. But the thing is, though, he's mainly here to do damage. Now, you want another character here who can possibly give you some protection, or like against like rising rush or whatever the case may be. So I'm actually going to put Revival Frieza here, because he does have revival, obviously. And on top of that, I mean, his defenses could obviously be way better, but the revival mechanic, is really going to help us in this case. Now, for bench, you're going to want 2 Zenkai buffers and at least 1 HP buff. So, for this, I'm going to give Ultra Frieza a Zenkai buff, since he's actually going to be the main person on this team that's going to be doing the most damage, right? Then what I want to do is, you don't have to make this team like, oh my gosh, it has to be full Lineage of Evil. You can make the bench whatever you want it to be. It just has to at least fit a little bit with this team. Like, for example, if you threw on the green Zenkai Kaioken Goku, that would make sense, because he buffs Frieza Saga, and everybody on this team that you're going to be using in battle is Frieza Saga. If you don't want Cooler, he does buff Powerful Opponent with his Zenkai ability, but the Z ability is only Saga for the movies. So unless you are planning to 3 times Zenkai buff Frieza, don't use Cooler. So you want to throw on this Frieza here. Now what you could do is you could also throw on this Broly here, because if you look at his Z ability, he gives 20% to max base health for powerful opponents, and his Zenkai ability also buffs powerful opponents. So not only is the whole team getting HP buffs, but of course, you know, this Frieza here is going to be getting a Zenkai buff. Now he is already a HP buffer, but that's not really what he's meant for. Actually, yes, he is. He's really meant for HP buffs, but what you also could do is I'm going to throw on Chilled. He does also give HP buffs, but in case you guys don't really know that much, because some people probably don't understand it, even though there's like multiple videos on it. Whatever arts cards held, like whatever character in the bench holds like some of these cards, are the cards you could give the characters that you're going to be using in battle. It sounds kind of complicated, but let's say this in easier terms. As you can see, Chilled has a strike card that has a 50% chance to paralyze. Now, normally, he will just be the one getting this. Now, normally, you will have to break him in battle if you want your other characters to get that card. But now they did the thing where as long as he's on your team, the characters will have this card. So you can use that, but not only that, he also gives max base health and health restoration to Lineage of Evil. Now, there is no purple units on the team, so he's actually meant to be the main health buffer for this team. Now, here, that is going to be your team. A team with 2 characters who can do great amount of damage, and then 1 character who can take a rising rush. And we also have an HP buffer, but actually 2 HP buffers. Now, that is just one thing. So, the core of team building, what you want for team building, is at least 2 characters who can do amazing damage, but then have 1 character who can take certain powerful hits well. Even if they die, quote unquote, at least if they survive, that will be good. Alright, so now that's the first thing. Now, we're going to use another team, for example, because, of course, people might not have all the lineage of evil characters. So we're going to try Saiyans, because I personally do think Saiyans is a tag that at least like 80% of you guys should have decent characters from this tag. So we're going to be, again, with the same thing. 2 attack and 1 defense. So for attack, I'm going to put Majin Vegeta here. Hold on, let me remove all this. So for attack, I'm going to put Majin Vegeta here. He does very good damage. Not as much as he used to do, but he still does pretty good damage. You just need to have him decently Zenkai buffed and a decent amount of stars. Then you can put him on the team. Now, some replacements. For replacements, I guess you can use, Zenkai Gogeta Blue. And obviously, if you have the Ultra Super Saiyan Goku, the new Ultra Super Saiyan Goku, you could use him. I think personally he would be the better option. But since I don't have him yet, this is just going to have to do. You could also use Keller Caulifla, this kid Goku, which actually I don't know if I would recommend that much, but yeah. Now, another character that can do very good damage is UI Goku. Now, the thing with UI Goku is that he's falling off because of the release of Frieza. So he's going to have less value. So if you don't really feel comfortable with using him, you can slap on God Goku, or this Daimaku. Any of those, right? And then for a character to take the hit, I will personally throw Fiku on here because I don't think he can take a Rising Rush. That's the thing, though. I don't think he can really take a Rising Rush, but I do know that he can really tank because he does have tons of health. Now, for the bench, with, giving the main characters a Zenkai buff and then also some HP buffs. So, with yellow and green, for yellow, I'm going to put Bardock here. He does give buffs to Saiyans. His Z ability, I don't think gives buffs to Saiyans. It just gives buffs. Oh, actually, it does. It just gives health buffs to Team Bardock. But since there's no Team Bardock characters on the team, we're going to have to stick with this. Now, for the other character, for Saiyans on green, for the green, because we're Zenkai buffing God Goku, I'm going to throw on this Goku because he does also buff Saiyans on Z ability, and he also gives Zenkai buffs to green and Saiyans, right? Now, for the HP buff, you can kind of go ways with this. You could throw on Shallot on the team for buffs. You could throw on, there was one. You could throw on, I guess, Raditz for the buffs. Whatever you want to do. As long as you have a decent HP buffer here. Now, I'm not saying you throw on this hero, Cabba onto the freaking team just so she could give, no, not she, just so he could give health buffs to, Fiku. No. You need to have at least a very good health buffs. A very good health buffer that could give health buffs to the whole team. So, you could use, again, Raditz, or you can use Shallot. Any of those. Now, for equipment guides, we're going to do that in the next video. But the core of team building is 2 characters to do the attack and 1 character to take the attack. Now, if you want 1 character to really do the damage and 2 characters to take the hit, so just in case, if 1 character loses the defensive capability, fine. You have a whole other character who can actually do very well. If you want to do that, then that's fine. But the most common thing is 2 characters who can do the damage and 1 character who can take the hit. So, for example, if you're using Saiyans, the main Saiyans team, in my opinion, ever since Super Vegito has got his platinum equipment, is Kaioken Goku, Ultra Super Saiyan Goku, and Super Vegito. The thing with that team is Super Vegito has endurance and he has very good tanking. Add that with the KO guard and he basically can't die. And then you have Super Saiyan Goku and Kaioken Goku to do the damage. Not even including the fact that Super Vegito can still do crazy damage on his own. That is a team that can get you to God rank. Speaking of God rank, am I saying these teams are very good for getting God rank? It's not about a team. I'm not doing this to tell you guys what teams you guys should use. I'm doing this to tell you guys the core, the main part of team building. So again, I'm gonna repeat this again. For the characters that you're going to be using in battle, the characters that you're going to be using to defeat the other person's characters, 2 attack characters and 1 defensive character. Because back then, like 2023, the main team was Future during the anniversary. Like Future was top tier team, possibly the best team. And of course, since Sword of Hope Trunks got his Zenkai during that time, the main team was Ultra Vegito Blue, who at the time was argued the best character in the game, but people were saying Go Frieza was better. I think they were equal in my opinion. So it was Super Vegito, Ultra Rose, and Sword of Hope Trunks. Now, the thing with all those characters is they are all melee type. But the thing is, Trunks can actually take a hit because he has a defensive gauge, he has endurance. While Rose and Vegito Blue can just dominate the opponents, right? So, yeah, guys, so that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one for talking about the upcoming character for the after party. Have a good one, guys, and peace.